Hello, today we will talk about Balanced Scorecard with Power BI and Excel. This presentation is from Riga Power BI meetup group and the original meetup, so come and join Riga Power BI at meetup.com. We have meetups twice a month on different topics. Balanced Scorecard is a strategic management approach, and it means that how we organize our goals and how we put activities to reach these goals. And as one of the best strategists on the planet, Michael Porter, stated that without goals, without strategy, you will spend your resources on different activities and actually will not reach the needed goal. What is Balanced Scorecard? It's an approach developed by Robert Kaplan and David Norton at the beginning of 1990s. And the main idea was to create methodologies that will help companies to focus not just on financial goals, because all the goals, all the metrics, and if we look at balance sheet, we see only financial metrics, and the same reason how we evaluate company value. So from the bookkeeping point of view and the financials point of view, actually we can evaluate company only in numbers, only in financial statements. And what they discovered that in the 90s, the value of companies is not just assets, material assets that could be evaluated. It's a people, it's innovations, it's ideas, and it's other things that in a bookkeeping terminology we call intangibles. And still we could measure somehow these intangibles. We can't evaluate and can't put money for each of these positions, but we still could could measure them. And they created the model that called Balanced Scorecard, and have four perspectives. First, of course, we still have this financial perspective, or how do we look to our shareholders. The next, when we have this financial, we need to think about customers, or how we do our customers to see us. Third, when we have a customer services and customer products, we need to think about internal processes and systems. And the fourth perspective is knowledge and growth, which generally means people. And all these four perspectives common together and together explain our vision and strategy. Balanced Scorecard consists of three elements. First element is the strategy map, and the strategy map is cause-effect diagram that put together the main ideas that we have on each level. Is it customer, or is it financial? Is it processes or people? When we have this strategy map, we could create or split it to separate goals and form a scorecard with specific targets, measures, initiatives, activities, and KPIs. And at the top of this, we have a dashboard that allow us follow our goals and measure it monthly or quarterly, and have the measurement or monitoring of our strategy implementation. For today, I created a simple example with bookstore. Imagine that you are a manager at bookstore, and you need to create a new strategy for next 6 months. Your 6 months revenue is $1 million and profit is 100K. And let's create this strategy using Balanced Scorecard approach. First, we start from financials, and we see that revenue plus 10% and profit plus 20%. That is what we need to achieve. Next, we will think about what we need to do in customer's perspective to achieve these financial goals. And our idea is that we will start to selling book accessories, and also we will select the top selling books and will propose these top selling books to customers. So there will be some bestsellers, the bunch of bestsellers or more bestsellers that will drive us additional revenue and profit. If we decided to do this, we need something to change in processes because it's something new. And if we change some processes in top selling books, this slice, we understand that we need to develop email marketing and also customer analysis to analyze what customers really need and better select profitable top sellers for them. And also create some online ordering system. In books accessories part, for example, we need some cross-sales processes that will help us to bundle books with, for example, books with some accessories and sell them together better. And the last thing is what we need on this people level. And in this level, we need some additional people, new employees need to be hired, or we need some competencies, some knowledge. And in this case, we have some strategy map we want to follow and want to implement it. Next, we create this scorecard. And the scorecard consists of this perspective, of course, goal. We define some goals that we want to get a revenue from books and accessories, and then we state how to measure it. We say that we will measure it as a revenue per month and a profit, and we will put some KPI like specific value. And in this case, scorecard must consist specific values. Even if we measure customer satisfaction, it must be at the end. It must be specific measure, and we will talk about it later. And third part is this dashboard, and that is what we will create in Excel and Power BI. So let's create a dashboard from the Balanced Scorecard goals. Here we have a file with the goals. We see perspective, goal, idea. Here's the goal itself, how to measure it, and we see different KPIs with different measures. Also, here is a months and responsible. And the first on the first sheet and the second sheet we have actual, and we see here is a goal idea. ID, KPI, and also actual by months. And we at the moment have only for the first month's actuals. Here's for the second and the third. And what we will do, we will create a new Excel file and start to gather this information. In this case, we have information in Excel file, but probably we have it in database or in another source. So let's use a query, and we will say from file, and choose Excel goals, and with this Power Query that is integrated in Excel to 2016, we will select this goals sheet. You see, press edit, and before we load it, we need a little bit editing here. And what we need first, we need to remove first top rows, 3 rows, and put the third row as the name of the columns. And we have the, now we have a correct row names and column names. And we also need to put this KPI, put the data type, whole number, because we will need it for calculation. And what we need, we actually need to split it by months. And here we have 3 columns. We will put it before months, and in this case we will split this months column by delimiter and splitting function just to 6 columns. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now we will unpivot on these columns. So what we will get, we will get a plan for each goal for each month. So we can delete this and say here month. It will month's number at the moment, and we have for example revenue for first goal, revenue from books and book accessories, goal KPI it's 3,000 euros, revenue per January, per February, March, April, May, June. That is what we did here. And let's load it, and we will load it to Power Pivot data model. Here we choose only create connection and add this data to the data model. And we just load this. Let's do the same with our actual data. We again select the goals and choose this actual data. And in this case, what we have here, we could again use the first row as a column. I put it twice. Oh no, there's too much. So goal KPI, and we have a actual for 6 months. So we will delete these columns. We don't need them. And we have a KPI and this first month's actual. Again, there is the whole number. Again, we will unpivot these columns, and we will have the attribute will be months, and value will be value. Let's keep it as a value. This is actual again, and let's check this. Let's check this value. It's numeric. It's okay. Let's keep it. So close and load to data model. Again, we just load it to data model. So we have these records. We have this on the in the data model on the Power Pivot, and we look in Power Pivot. We see that we have goals and actuals, and now we need to put it together, and we need a key to connect these tables. As we have a rows, that is, each row actually represent a specific goal on specific months. So therefore we will create a key that will be contain goal code and months, and in this case it will be unique. So we will, for this key calculation, we will put a code for goal and concatenate it with the month's number, and we will have a key for connecting these data with the actual data. And let's do the same on the actual table. Also create a key. We'll use goal and month's number. And now we need to connect these tables together. We will go to diagram view and just link these tables using key. So we have this link between two tables, and now we could use them together. And what else we will do under this goal, because in this calculation table we need to use not these KPIs or actual, we need a percentage. So we need to use what is actual division from actual and KPI, and let's call it rate. We will create a calculated measure. Let's call it rate, and it will be, let's say, division. We will use a function divide. It is a simple division function, but it will allow it removes errors in case if we need to divide by 0. So it's very useful. First we will say what we will divide, and it will be sum of actual value, so sum of actual value, divided by sum of goals KPI. Okay. And we have this value calculated. See, the overall is 16%, but it's not quite correct now because we have 6 months keep plans, but 1 month's actual. But okay, keep it as it is at the moment, and return to this Excel sheet, and let's create this dashboard. Call it Balanced Scorecard Dashboard. It a little bit bigger, and actually we will do a simple thing. We will create a pivot table, and we see in 2016 Excel that we have an insert the pivot table function. Just use this workbook data model. We will use this data model. We see our tables, and let's use a goal. We will say let's use a code. It's goal, and let's use a perspective. Before that, let's change a little bit this, switch to tabular form, and do not show this subtotals. Put the months here as the numbers at the moment, but okay, and put a rate. And we see we have this percentage here in the first column. It's okay, it's nice, and we see how we are so far. Let's to have this dashboard properly, let's create a conditional formatting on top of it, and let's manage rules. And that what I will do, I just will put number, let's say till 0.9, 90%, it's or 85. I put, in this case, put 9 from 90% till 95%. It's yellow, and if it's 1 or above, it's green. Apply. Okay, so we have a nice visualization. So we see that where we are not developed, in which goal, and where we are developed quite well, and it shows our good progress. So actually, when we have something red here or yellow, we need to look to activities which are under this goal, and to see what we are doing okay or not okay. Let's add to our original Excel file the figures for month number 2 for February. I just add it here, save this file, and come back to our dashboard. And I will just refresh all, and then I will have the numbers for February. So here it is. We see that it's much better. We are performing much better. On February we saw more greens here and less reds. And let's load data on the 3rd month. Let's copy it here. But if it comes from the transactional system, you don't need to do anything. Just refresh here. And you have the data also for March, and we see a different dynamics. That is how actually Balanced Scorecard dashboard works. We transform every measure, even if it is a customer satisfaction index, as here we have a NPS for customer satisfaction. Yes, and we lost our or this conditional formatting. Let's put it back. Let's put this conditional formatting back. okay, keep it as it is. You remember this idea. So even if we have this non-financial as customer satisfaction, we could measure it in percentage from plan to actual development. What can we do else? We could put a thing that we have in Excel called spark lines. Let's put it. And what we could do, let's select our this part that we have figures and put it in this grand total row. This is not very well developed, but this is how it works. It's workaround actually. We have the spark lines here. Let's put a little bit bigger. Now put a bit bigger line here, and we see that numbers behind it. So to hide them, we need to color them in white and put a 1 as a size of this, so we have a good spark lines. Unfortunately, these spark lines are not a part of the pivot table, so if we change something, it will not come together, but okay, still it's somehow working. And what else we could do here? We could add this from publishing purpose. We could publish this pivot table into Power BI dashboard. For example, here we have a Power BI. We will create a dashboard called Balanced Scorecard, BSC. So, and we want to publish and share our Excel dashboard here. So we can do this. Just select this Balanced Scorecard like this, and use Power BI add-in. I just put pin, and I will say existing dashboard. Here is a Balanced Scorecard, another dashboard. I say yes, publish it, and if I go to my dashboard, I see this. I see this here. Let's adjust it a little bit. Adjust it, so we have it here. That's nice. And if we change something in our dashboard, for example, let's change this conditional formatting here as previously. For example, it was a little bit wrong, but we will correct this. Number 0.9, 0.9, 0.95, 1. We say okay, apply, okay. Figures that change it a little bit, and we to publish it, we just use a Power BI pin manager and select this, say update, close, and if we go back, we see the same figures already in our dashboard. Let's look at one more function we could do with Excel in this part, and it is using of KPIs under Power Pivot. If you choose here Power Pivot tab, you see there here is a KPIs, and let's create a new KPI. It's a KPI in data model. Let's call it rate. Say that 100% will be the green value. We will say 1 as previously, and let's say 94%, and click OK, and it will create a KPI for us. If we look at goals table, we have this, let's remove everything from here. We have here as a rate KPI, and it's with a separate icon here we see. And we could put here a status, which we have already here as a icon, and also we could put this value. So we have this value, and we could align a little bit. We see that our spark lines are moved because we put another column, 2 columns, and it's not a part of pivot table, but we could deal with that. So it's a different look. Let's squeeze it a little bit. and we could also pin it to our dashboard. Let's use Power BI dashboard. Okay, it's pinned. And one last thing, we will insert another pivot table, and it will consist only from this rate, and we will put a month slicer. I will put it for month 1. For month 1 it's 90% rate, and we will also pin it to our Power BI dashboard. We have this rate, okay, and if we look at Power BI dashboard, we here have this rate, and also we have this KPI style dashboard. So that is how we could use Excel for dashboard creation on top of Balanced Scorecard metrics, and also how to use a Power BI to publish and share it. Okay, let's continue our demo with Power BI part. So, and we will not load data as in Excel, we will just import it from the Excel file. So we will have it faster. We will take our Excel file, and for importing it will have everything. It will import the tables, the queries, and also the KPIs. So we already have here even this KPI. We see the nice icon. So let's build simple dashboard what we could do this. And first we will build a pivot table to have the whole picture, and we will use the same idea. We will use a goal. We'll use the goals in the rows, and also we'll have a perspective here. So we will see that here we could have a two level table, and it's very nice. So we'll put the months in the columns. It's not very nice numbers, but we will not deal with that now. And we will put this value here. And so we see this table. It looks similar. Let's format a little bit. First we will at columns we will remove totals from both columns, and we'll a little bit enlarge it, and we will put a matrix style like bold and flash. So we'll have this kind of nice table here. It's not conditional yet. We can't put a conditional formatting on top of a pivot table. It is possible on the simple tables in Power BI, but I hope soon we will have also here possibility to put conditional formatting on top of this pivot table. But let's do a different nice things here, and we will use a different custom visual. It's Sankey chart and Sankey diagram, and here we will have like code, and put parent here, and we have visual or in opposite direction, of course. Let's put parent here and code here, and we have a nice diagram of our goal dependencies. We see that goal 0, and we have 4 goals. It's financial goals here, and we could click here and see revenue from new books and the revenue from books accessories, and from this goal, which is revenue from new books, we have 2 goals here, customer surveys and online orders, and which are connected to another goal. So we could see this cause effect diagram a little bit. One more thing we could do here, we will use another custom visual, which is about each chart, and put this again goal. Let's put and we want to see these financial goals, and put and how they are divided. So here we have all the goals, but remember there were not all goals are financial, only these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And in this case, for custom visual, we will just select 1, 2, 3, 4, and we see the overall KPI and in money. So we see that goal 3 is most influent here, and that is this goal. So yeah, that is how we could measure it. Also, we could put the months here as a slicer and have selection and look by months. This, for example, put 3 months, we see this exact performance, and let's call it dashboard. Let's create another one, and it will be like individual dashboard for goals, and we will use Sparkline chart. It's also custom visual. Let's use it. We will put here a goal as a category, and this performance and performance rate value as the values, and the months as the X, and see the spark lines for our 3 months period here. Yeah, it's very nice. And for goal performance, we use another custom visual, and it's a bullet chart, and we put here a bullet chart a little bit bigger. So again, we will have a code, and we will have a value, this value, and we see these charts. We could put also without code, we could put a perspective, or let's put a responsible here also. And let's format a little bit data visuals. So let's put a target value, it's 1, it's 100%. A minimum value, let's put 0. Need to improve, it will be like 80%. Satisfactory will be 90, good is 100, and very good is 100 and 110. 120 for maximum. And we see here how it looks. It's a little bit not right because we have not we need to divide these measures by months. So let's look at January. So now we see this very nice chart, and we could go deeper. We see here's for responsible, and here's for several goals, and we see a really a large performance, very compact, in a compact way. You can see what is going on and how. Let's put a little bit coloring here and put this bullet chart as white, so we will see a little bit better, or not white, let's say put it gray, so it's much better, and we could see this performance, and it looks really nice on different levels. Individual goals, it's goal performance. And let's put one last thing here in our presentation. It will be custom visual called narrative. So we put this narrative, and actually what it do, if we put the values will be like value, and put the goals here, and what it do, it actually generates our goals, and let's put a perspective here, and also put responsible here, Yeah, a little bit goals, entity. Okay, and it actually generates for us generates a text, an explanation text of what is happening on our data. So identities and value of 46% from book accessories and maximum customer surveys, and it actually generates a good story for our management. And yeah, last for this, actually what we need is put in this level page exact months here to have a correct values. Let's put a January, so we have a nice explanation here. Yeah, thank you for watching. That is how we could measure and create visualizations for Balanced Scorecard in different ways. So try yourself. All the data and the files will be published on the Riga Power BI meetup site.